Okay, good afternoon once again. My name is Dave Nadler. I'm the morning coordination meteorologist here at the National Weather Service office in Peachtree City, Atlanta. This is a 2 p.m. Wednesday, May 8th, special webinar on the talking about the potential for severe weather over the next couple of days for North and Central Georgia. All right, here are our main points. The potential for severe weather is going to increase later on today into tonight, especially for parts of North Georgia. We are looking at primary storm threats being damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, hail, which could exceed over an inch in diameter, and possibly a few tornadoes as well. So we're kind of looking at all modes of severe weather as we head into tonight for North Georgia. As we go through the night and into the day tomorrow, the potential is going to shift south across the area. And we're even looking at another round of potentially severe storms moving across the area Thursday night into early Friday morning. So we're going to try to break this down for you as easily as possible. There is certainly some uncertainty exists on the timing and potential intensity of the storms as we go through the night tonight and into the day tomorrow. But our confidence is pretty good right now that some part of the area is going to get hit, could potentially get hit pretty hard with at least one of these rounds over the next couple of days. Latest radar, we've got a regional view. It's pretty quiet out there right now. We are fairly warm and unstable, but as we get more of that energy dropping down from Tennessee and the Appalachians, things are going to start to pick up and develop as we head through the rest of the day into the evening hours tonight. Closer look at Tennessee, North Alabama, Northwest Georgia on the right side here shows most of the storm development is north of and east of Nashville towards the Morristown area. We've got some severe storms across parts of eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina right now into GSP's area. But fortunately, a lot of this activity is moving off to the east, northeast away from the area at this time. So wanted to kind of show you all this. A lot you hear us talk about instability, sort of the atmospheric energy for storms to get going. We've got a lot of that. We've got values over 1,500, which is pretty good to support pretty strong to potentially severe storm development and even maintain that strength as things roll through tonight into early tomorrow. So really good instability. And as we go, basically you're looking at a loop from about 6 p.m. this evening through about 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And the energy in the atmosphere does come down a little bit at night, but there's still enough there to support storms even through the nighttime hours. So that's what we wanted to show here. And then we're going to get sort of reinvigoration of instability as we go into the late morning hours tomorrow and into the afternoon. So that's one ingredient. The other thing is the upper level winds at about 10 to 15,000 feet. Anytime we get that yellow area over 50 to 60 knots or 60 to 70 miles per hour aloft, those are really good winds to support updraft strength and also the potential for, we talk about low to mid-level wind shear that could support tornadoes and, of course, wind damage. So the energy is coming together with the instability to support some periods of severe weather across the area. Another thing, as far as tornadoes go, don't want to say it's a zero chance, but it's lower, but there's still a threat there, especially tonight into the evening hours and the overnight hours across far north Georgia. And then as we head through the day tomorrow with that, as everything kind of sinks to the south. But what you're seeing here is what we call a significant tornado parameter, probability of being over 2, which would support at least some tornado threat with any storms. Basically, as I play this, any area that has some color shading has a risk of seeing a tornado. So we got to be prepared for that in addition to the damaging winds and large hail potential. So what you're looking at here is just model reflectivity, basically from about 3 o'clock this afternoon through 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So a couple of storms start to pop up and move across North Georgia late this afternoon into the evening hours. But you see that main line coming out of parts of Tennessee, Alabama, and North Carolina. That's going to be closer to like late evening, midnight time frame, and then through the overnight hours. And that's where we could see more widespread wind damage, along with the potential threat for a few tornadoes embedded within this line. So anywhere north of Atlanta, north of I-20, certainly parts of the higher elevations of far north Georgia, really got to be prepared as we head through the evening hours and overnight tonight for this first wave to be coming through, producing potentially damaging winds and a few tornadoes. The large hail threat is probably going to happen earlier in the evening before that main line comes through, but still wanted to make sure everybody's prepared for that, because that could be happening as well with some of these isolated cells that develop ahead of the main line later this evening. So the next frame then takes basically from about 8 a.m. tomorrow morning through the afternoon hours, through about 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And you can see that there could be we do expect kind of a brief break in the severe threat sometime during the morning hours tomorrow, but that we call it that cold pool, basically that rain cooled air that extends from the leading edge of those storms moving across I-20 to the south into central Georgia. That cold pool is going to interact with an air mass that is fairly unstable with daytime heating, and storms are going to fire back up as this thing potentially progresses across the entire forecast area during the afternoon hours. So folks, if you're in Macon to Columbus, down to Vidalia, Swainsboro, Americus, you're going to probably be fine tonight into tomorrow morning, but through the afternoon hours tomorrow into tomorrow evening, that's when you will likely be under the gun for some of these strong to severe storms. So just about the entire area is going to have some threat of severe weather between basically later this afternoon and this time tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours. The threats continue to be damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, large hail, especially during the afternoon hours tomorrow across central Georgia. And we could see a brief tornado. The low-level wind shear during the afternoon hours is not going to be as great, but we get that boundary interaction from multiple storms kind of running into each other, and that can certainly support a brief spin-up tornado. So definitely don't want to rule that out at all. Our confidence is pretty high with this actually occurring, just lower confidence on exactly when the lull in the action occurs and the redevelopment occurs, exactly where that happens. But for the most part, we feel fairly good about what you're seeing right here going through the day tomorrow. And then finally, I mentioned that as we go through the night tomorrow night, Thursday night into early Friday, there's another wave that's going to be kicking across the region, and that could generate another round of showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be strong to severe. This is one model, and a couple of these higher resolution models are showing an area of thunderstorm activity pushing out of Alabama and then moving into west central Georgia late tomorrow night, late Thursday night into early Friday morning. So confidence right now is, I would say, medium on this happening. For a couple of days now, models have been showing development to our west sometime Thursday night into early Friday morning. So we feel pretty good that this is going to happen. We're not sure exactly what areas are going to get hit yet with this last wave kicking through Thursday night into early Friday. But if it does come together, the threat for heavy rain, damaging winds, and even a brief tornado, all that's going to be in play as we go through Thursday night into early Friday morning. So complex situation, multiple rounds coming through. So a lot to kind of keep up with, but I would say anybody from across the entire north and central Georgia area, from later today into tonight, all the way through tomorrow night and early Friday, need to really stay up to date with what's happening. We'll do our best to keep everybody up to speed as things are evolving across the area. So this is just showing you severe weather risk outlook from SPC. We have the day one. This is basically through about 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, so tonight into early tomorrow, with this first round developing and moving through. They have upgraded parts of far north Georgia to an enhanced risk, primarily focused on the wind. But as you can see, there's also that tornado risk across parts of far north Georgia. So from Dade, Walker, Catoosa County, all the way down to Gordon County, Gilmer, Fannin, Lumpkin, Dawson, y'all got to be prepared for the risk for damaging winds and tornadoes, and even some large hail this evening. I would say since the gradient between the marginal risk and the enhanced risk is fairly tight from the I-20 corridor all the way up to far north Georgia, please don't get caught up into exactly where you are in this risk outlook. If you're right on the edge, just prepare for like a level up, and just be ready for these storms to come through that could produce some isolated damage. So just wanted to kind of throw that out there as we go through the night and into the early morning hours tomorrow. Now, I took a screenshot of the proposed day 2 outlook because it wasn't completely out yet. It is out now officially, but the day 2 outlook, which would be Thursday into Thursday night, they have increased the risk to an enhanced area or an enhanced risk for much of central Georgia and parts of South Georgia. And we agree with this. I think it makes sense given the redevelopment that is expected to occur tomorrow afternoon across parts of central Georgia, and that next round coming through potentially Thursday night into early Friday morning, that could be a damaging wind threat along with a few tornadoes. So again, tomorrow afternoon, as the first wave moves south into central Georgia, redevelopment, re-intensification of the storms is likely. Large hail, damaging winds, tornadoes are all in play. And then as we head into Thursday night and early Friday morning with that wave kicking out of Alabama, damaging winds and possibly a few brief spin-up tornadoes continue to be the risk, across parts of north and central, especially central Georgia. But again, the timing and the location of where that Thursday night, early Friday wave moves is still in question, and we'll certainly keep everybody up to date on that as we go into tomorrow before we head into tomorrow night. Rainfall. This is kind of a look at what we could see. I think generally speaking, 1 to 3 inches area wide is expected. There's likely a pretty good probability of seeing that. Certainly could see some embedded, localized higher amounts depending on, if we see some training of storms through the night tonight into the day tomorrow. And as you can see on the right-hand side, the excessive rainfall outlook anywhere in yellow, and you can see where the moderate risk comes down very close to the Georgia-Tennessee state line. That's where we can see an elevated risk for flooding or localized flash flooding as we go through the night tonight and into the morning hours tomorrow. So just showing basically the day 1, the day 2, Thursday into Thursday night is basically just a marginal risk across the entire area at this point. But I wouldn't be surprised if parts of central Georgia might be elevated, depending on what we see tomorrow afternoon, elevated ahead of Thursday night's potential system moving across the area, bringing more heavy rain. So definitely have to watch the rainfall flood forecast as we go through the next 36 to 48 hours in addition to this severe threat. So in summary, again, potential for severe weather. Confidence is definitely increasing that, we are going to see some severe weather across the area as we go through the evening hours tonight and into the overnight, early morning hours tomorrow across parts of North Georgia. That whole area shifts to the south into central Georgia tomorrow afternoon. And then as we go through tomorrow night into early Friday, another round moving across could produce additional strong to severe storms across the area. So it's a busy next 48 hours across much of the area. Please continue to, keep your guard up, stay tuned, stay up to date on what we're saying, the radar, make sure everybody's, communication platforms and methods are working properly. Certainly hope for the best, but we definitely got a plan for a pretty active period of weather across the area. And we haven't really seen that in a few weeks. So please stay tuned to everything, and again, keep your guard up. So on that note, at this point, we're not planning any additional webinars, but if we can find a little window during the day tomorrow, we might do one, but we'll certainly keep everybody up to date through emails and through our NWS chat Slack platform. So on that